Hello everyone, this is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today our guest is Blayne Richards, welterweight who is fighting for CFFC. Hello Blayne, how are you?
Great, yourself, sir?
I'm good, thanks. Blayne, you a few months ago, you defeated Eric Nolan. I think that overall very good prospect as well. And you not only defeated him, but also finished him. It was, I think, that a very good performance. So if you can tell me, what do you think about this performance and when we can see you again in the cage?
Yeah, I do think it was a great performance. He was a dog. He was coming off some good wins himself. He's pretty popular in the area. We flew out to Philadelphia, so we went all the way out to his side of the country. So he had the whole fan base there for him and everything. So it allowed me to be in enemy territory and put on a show and stuff like that. The fight went exactly how I wanted it to go. I wanted to be in there at a dog fight, get to show my striking, but then obviously, like you said, get to the finish. That's what I want to do in every fight.
And was it a one fight deal with CFFC, or do you will fight again in there?
Yeah. Actually, we're working on it right now. I had an opponent lined up for September 15th for the CFFC in Newtown, North Dakota. Something happened with that opponent. We're trying to put something together right now on a short notice situation. I don't have anything locked in for 100%, but in my mindset, I'm still aiming for the 15th, and I'm still ready for the 15th. So that's what we're looking at right now.
I think that overall CFFC is good organization, not only because of the level of the fighters who are fighting there, but also because the promotion is shown on UFC Fight Pass, so fans all over the world could see your performance. So I think that it would be good also for you to fight again on CFFC.
Yeah, honestly, I like the promotion a lot. For me specifically, my teammate Anthony Smith, he won the 185-pound CFFC belt before he got the call to go back to the OC. So I know that the CFFC promotion is watched by a lot of eyes all over the country, all over the world, but then also by the higher ups like the UFC, Bellator, things like that. They like to feed off of a lot of those guys. Uh, in April, whenever I fought, they had a contender fight for their belt for welterweight, and the gentleman that won that actually got a call to the UFC off of that win. So I know that they're highly touted and highly watched by the bigger promotions around.
Yes, and you would be a perfect guy to fight for the title because you are a finisher. You have this style that is very I think that good for all fans. So I think that you would be perfect to fight for the title.
Yeah, that's what my plan is. Honestly, I'm not sure what their ideas are right now, but I'd like to fight for that belt. I think that I could take that belt off anybody that has it right now. And if I have that belt, it gives me a lot of leverage to go anywhere I want after the fact.
And you fought, I believe that your last fight, it was like early April, April 1st, right?
Yes, sir.
So was it a plan to have this kind of break, like almost 6 months, or it just happened?
No, it's not necessarily my break or like my plan to take breaks like that. I'd like to fight every 3 to 4 months. But in the position that I'm in, with the record that I have to find the right opponents that want to fight me, slash I have to find the right opponents that have a good enough record to actually show that I'm putting on shows against quality opponents and things like that. So I know that there's a million guys that could fight out there, but I have to find the right guys to allow me to put on a show for people, and people are like, okay, that was worth it. That was what we wanted to see from him to be able to go to the next step. So it kind of limits the amount of opponents that I can get right now. But no, I don't plan on taking breaks like that. It just kind of happens.
And after your fight, do you have let's say plans to fight on the Contender Series? Do you like imagine that UFC can contact you or your manager to fight on the Contender Series?
Yeah, honestly, that was like my biggest goal, was to put on a good enough show in my last fight to get called for the Contender Series. I know that they're running that season currently right now. I think they're booked up most of the way through week 8 for that. But things happen all the time. People fall out and stuff, so I'm staying ready. If I get the call to that, that's obviously the number one priority. So I can do a short notice for them if they want to go that route. But like I said, I'm planning for the 15th to fight for CFFC. So I'll take that, and then whatever comes after the fact, I'll take that as well too. Whether that's a short notice call for the UFC or if they want to do this belt situation for the CFFC, I'm down with that too.
Yes, and about Contender Series, there are so many great fighters that Contender Series could have like 20 episodes, not only 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that they set it up, it's a tough thing. Like you can win those fights. I have plenty of friends that have been on there and won the fights on there, but they didn't do it in a spectacular fashion. So you're still not getting the contract. So people know whenever you're going there on Tuesday to fight there, you have to get a knockout or you have to get a finish. So that puts pressure on both of the opponents to go ahead and make it a great show. So yeah, they could have as many weeks as I want. People know what the pressure is and know what the situation that comes out of it. So yeah, both guys are coming to game.
And let's talk about your beginnings in the sport. Was it the MMA the first combat sport that you ever trained, or you like started with another discipline?
I wrestled in college in Iowa. I did that first. Once I graduated college, I had about a year to kind of figure out where I was going to live and stuff. Then I actually started doing jiu-jitsu with a person that played football at the school that I went to as well too. I started going to a jiu-jitsu gym with him, and then I actually started training a little bit with Houston Alexander. He was in the UFC previously, he fought Kimbo Slice and stuff. He had a fight coming up in Aruba. So whenever I went to the jiu-jitsu gym, they saw like my wrestling skills and stuff. He actually invited me to come help him do a little bit of training. After that, I met up with my current coach, Danny Molina. And since then, it's been day one. Skywalker, we've been going at it. So I didn't have like a necessarily like striking background or anything, but my wrestling background was pretty decent. So it led straight into MMA pretty easily.
Yes, when you are a wrestler and you are starting to learn jiu-jitsu, it's MMA, it's like next step.
Yeah, absolutely. My style of wrestling kind of fed into that as well too. Uh, I'm more of like a leg rider and kind of a counter wrestler. I like to scramble a lot, so that fed really well into my jiu-jitsu game. I'm currently a purple belt, but I think here shortly I'll be promoted to a brown belt. So I've moved up in those ranks pretty quickly just because of my background in wrestling and the skills that I bring to the table. It's allowed me to progress pretty fast in jiu-jitsu as well.
And also about Houston Alexander, I think that maybe younger fans may not be familiar with him, but he of course gave so many great fights in UFC. He actually also fought against Błachowicz in Poland on KSW, so he's like true veteran of this sport.
Oh yeah, he's an OG and he's still going. He's actually undefeated in bare knuckle fighting right now in heavyweight. So age is not just a number to that guy. He doesn't care. He's going out there to war against anybody that he can. So I give props to Houston all the time. He's the OG of Omaha, and that's where I got a lot of my start from. So I give props to him all the time. Every time I see him, give him a big hug and everything like that. He was one of the OGs for sure that got me started.
And actually, I think that bare knuckle can be perfect sport for him.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If you watch any of his fights and stuff like that, once it got to the ground, he was just trying to get back up as soon as possible. He's just down to sit there and strike, sit there and bang. So the ground game, taking that part out for him, just allowed him to throw hands. That fits him perfectly.
And what is the gym that you are currently training?
I fight out of Skywalker 101 Boxing Academy, as well as Morton BJJ is affiliated with us as well too. That's where we do our jiu-jitsu as well.
And do you have a sparring partners like young prospects that can be in the UFC or Bellator in next few years?
Oh, absolutely. On the CFFC card that I was actually on earlier in the night, there was an amateur portion. Mia, he is one of my main sparring partners. He took a short notice fight, actually went up a weight class at 185 and took the belt off of a guy there for their promotion. I have Kedzi. I could not pronounce his last name. That's my Russian brother. He's fought Bellator quite a few times. He's a 185 pounder, 6'5", real long striker. So that's one of my main sparring partners as well too. And then Carlos Trinidad Snake. He's an OG. He's one of the guys that's making really big waves in the BKFC circuit right now. He's actually the #1 contender for BKFC. He's had quite a few. He has more MMA fights than I do, honestly, but BKFC is his strong suit for sure. He likes to get in there and grind it out. So he just flew out to Miami for the fight at their welterweight division. He wanted to see that fight go down. So he should be the #1 contender lining up. I think that they're going to line him up with a title fight here soon. So I have those three guys as my main training partners. Obviously, whenever he's in town and he's not working out in Denver and stuff like that, we have Anthony Smith that comes into the gym quite often as well too. Everyone knows who he is. He's been and done everything in the sport. So I look up to him a lot and try to pick his brain as much as possible. But those are my main training partners.
Yes, and probably from Anthony Smith you can like take a lot of knowledge because he's on the top for so many years, and I think that still he has a chance to fight for the title. He's a little bit like Michael Bisping's story.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and I'm not sure how many active fighters there are that have over 50 fights, but he's one of them. He's definitely had his ups and downs, but he's never not shown up. He's never not put on a show for everybody. I think his nickname explains it all. Lionheart, he's going to be in there until the end. So he puts on a show for everybody, and he's going to give it his all. So I like to pick his brain as much as possible. And obviously, he's a very intelligent person. His podcast with Michael Bisping shows how intelligent he is, how elegant he is with his speaking and stuff like that. So anytime I can pick his brain, whether it's fighting or just life in general or anything like that, I'm definitely down to take any advice I can from Anthony.
And what is the favorite part of your training right now, and the part that you let's say don't like to do?
The non-favorite part, I don't really have like a non-favorite part. I embrace the grind. I'm down to do whatever. I think that comes from the wrestling background. I embrace like the whole cutting weight. Like I embrace the suck, everything that's like shitty about cutting weight and stuff like that. That's not that big of a deal to me. I enjoy kind of the suffering. As far as practice wise goes, everybody loves to spar. Not necessarily the best thing in the world for you, but everybody likes to spar. But then on the daily day, I'm down to just do drills. I think drillers make killers, so I'm down to do whatever on a daily basis as far as going to the practice gym, going to the weights, going to cardio. I'll do it all. You're not gonna hear a complaint from me.
And you are a very, very good grappler. And do you like compete in grappling competition, let's say no-gi?
Yeah, I've done quite a few grappling competitions. I think I've actually only lost maybe twice in a grappling competition. And I think they were actually the black belts in an absolute division. So I really do like doing grappling competitions. It's hard to commit to a grappling competition whenever you're in training camp. You don't want something dumb happening, especially when you get to a certain level in grappling and they can do leg locks and things like that. You don't want to do anything stupid there. But anytime that I have some free time or I know I don't have anything coming up, I'll do like a submission challenge here or there. I would like to do like an IBJJF tournament or an ADCC tournament. I just haven't got that opportunity yet.
And right now you are almost 31 years old. And when in, let's say, perfect world, would you like to be in the UFC or any other big organization?
In a perfect world, I've been there yesterday. But I understand where I'm sitting at right now. I wouldn't say that I was late to the game in starting MMA because I had a wrestling career. So it wasn't like I was sitting on the couch and came out of nowhere just to start this fighting career. I have a degree and everything from that wrestling career that I had, so that was a big deal to me. So right now I think is my time, honestly. I know that I can do this till I'm 36 years old easily. I also understand that basically every champion in the UFC is in their 30s right now. Also, if you look at anybody that's like a good solid wrestler in the Olympics, they're about 30 to 33 years old. So I think I'm in that sweet spot right now. With that, it allows me, I believe, if I get the chance or when I get the chance to go to either the UFC or one of the other bigger promotions in the world, uh, that I'm not going to be growing up in this promotion. I think I'm ready to fight whoever, whenever, right now, and there's not going to be the growing pains. I think that I'm ready to take on the opponents that they set in front of me right now. Depending on, doesn't matter when or where, I'm ready to go now.
And I think that the MMA is like crazy game that sometimes it's like in one moment you are here and let's say the guy from the UFC is pull out of the fight and you can go and take short notice fight. So maybe right now you are a CFFC fighter, but in like few weeks you can get like surprisingly a shot in UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it is the game of like social media and stuff like that. I'm definitely not the best on that. That's where you come in when you do these podcasts to get my name out to anybody out there that wants to listen to us. I think that's a big part of the game now. I'm definitely not the best at that. Uh, but the connections that I do have within the community, I think will help me to get some of those things. If short notice opportunity pops up, I think that I have the right people in my corner that can be like, hey, Blayne will take this right now. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I stay in the gym. Whether I have a fight or not, I'm in the gym. So it wouldn't matter to me whether it's short notice. I just need a few days to get my weight down and stuff like that. Just get focused. I'd be ready for anything.
And do you plan in the future change weight classes, let's say for the middleweight division?
I wouldn't say that necessarily. As far as cutting weight, I do cut some weight, but I'm not the extreme by any means. I've heard guys cutting from like 205 and stuff like that to get down to welterweight. I don't weigh anywhere near 205 unless it's been a bad weekend. So I don't see myself going to 85. I feel like I'm actually just growing into my body, getting that old man strength a little bit now. So I think that welterweight's the perfect spot for me. If they ever did come up with a 65-pound weight class, I might try that. I think that I could definitely take off another 5 pounds if I needed to pretty easily, especially if we're going 66 and I don't have to make scratch weight or anything like that. I could do that, but I don't see that coming down the pipeline anytime soon. So, like I said, I'm going to stick with welterweight at this moment.
And do you have a fighter, let's say from the UFC, that you would like to face? Let's say it's a dream fight.
I'm not gonna sit there and call anybody out on a specific thing like that because I'm not in that organization yet. Whenever I get the chance to get on the mic and I can yell somebody's name out, I'll definitely do it there. But I don't necessarily have a dream fight out of anybody, and especially at this point of where I'm at, I'm not gonna be able to call anybody out unless I'm in the organization. It's pointless. So at this point in time, I'm just focused on the 15th, and I'm focused on whoever they're gonna put in front of me. I gotta do something spectacular, something cool. Everybody only remembers your last fight. So I'm 5 months removed from my last fight. I'm old news now, so I got to do something cool on the 15th to bring my name back into everybody's mind, whatever level that they're at, so they can say, hey, we've seen this guy. He's back on our radar. Let's go ahead and give him the chance.
And overall, do you like to watch MMA fights, even from the UFC?
Yeah, I do. I do watch quite a few fights. Yeah, I'll watch UFC. Like I said, I have teammates in Bellator and stuff like that. I'll watch as well too. I do like to watch some one stuff. They like to switch it up and do like the grappling competitions, or how whenever Mighty Mouse and Raw Tang they did their like half and half situation. That was pretty cool, for sure. Anything that's over in China and Japan, they're down with like the freak show kind of stuff, like that. So I'm down to watch any of that for sure. I do watch a lot of grappling whenever I can. One of my training partners, or one of the people that I first started doing jiu-jitsu with, John Hansen, he's highly ranked up in the 80cc world. He just got back from Poland. I believe he got first in gi and third in no gi out there. So I'm down to watch a lot of grappling as well too. My jiu-jitsu coach that I spend a lot of time with, we watch things together as well too, bounce ideas off of each other. So I stay in the game.
So if you are watching the fights, are there fighters that you can like pick some knowledge, pick some, let's say, moves from them?
Yeah, to be honest, before my last fight, I was in the locker room. I don't like to watch my teammates fight or fights that go on throughout the night. I don't like to get my heart rate up or anything like that, but I was specifically watching like Charles Oliveira fight and stuff like that. I like his style. I think that's kind of the style that I try to mimic. I like to come forward. I like to put hands on you. I like to kick and things like that. But if it goes down to the ground, that it's a wrap most of the time. So I like his style. That's something I try to mimic on a lot of the things that I do, and I try to pick a lot of tendencies that he does up and try to follow that style.
Yes, and Charles, when he's winning his fights, he almost all of his fights he like finish, and it's almost like you have 5 finishes in 6 wins, so it's a great ratio.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's crisp with the boxing and his kicks as well too. There's nothing unnecessary. He's not winging punches or anything like that. So he likes to be really crisp. I do a lot of boxing myself. We have the best boxer in the world, Terrence Crawford, is Omaha, Nebraska. So I do a lot of boxing out of his gym with a lot of his younger prospects and stuff like that as well too. So I really enjoy boxing. So if someone's really crisp with their punches and stuff like that, I think that's really cool to watch, honestly.
And about the UFC welterweight division, I think that in November it will be title fight Leon Edwards against Colby Covington. And who do you think will win this fight?
After what I saw the past 2 fights with Leon, actually Leon and Usman fought on the same day as my fight last time, so I didn't even get to watch that necessarily. Uh, or it wasn't the same night as me. I was in cornering a couple of my other teammates and they fought, so I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I watched the highlights, but even from the first fight that I watched, I think Leon Edwards' takedown defense is becoming legit. It's hard to take him down. I think that he can actually put hands on Colby. We've seen Usman put hands on him, and I don't think he's as good a striker as Leon is. So I'm more leaning toward Leon, honestly.
Yes, and it's like the MMA math that Edwards beat Usman twice, and it was actually 2-1, and Usman defeated Colby twice. So it's on the like from the math position, Edwards should be better than Covington, but I think that it will be a very good fight.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe a whole lot in the MMA math conspiracy. I think a lot of it is matchups as well too. So I'm not going to take anything away from Colby. He has a crazy gas tank. If he can keep Leon up against the fence and he can actually get those takedowns, he has a great chance of taking that belt. But if it stays in the center of the octagon, I don't think that he's going to be able to get past the knees or honestly, the elbows of Leon and stuff like that are pretty crazy as well too. So for him to close that distance, I think he's going to have to push him up against the fence to be able to get into those takedowns. And I think that the progressions that Leon has made, knowing that he was going to fight such a heavy wrestler as far as Usman, I think that's made his game a whole different level, and it's going to be hard to get to him.
And you are in the world of combat sports for many years. And what is like the one advice that you can give young fighters who just started to train MMA?
Stay in the gym. I don't think that I'm special in any facet of the game at all, but I'll be there. I'll be at practice every night. I don't miss practice unless I got some crazy situation going on. Even if I'm hurt, I'm usually there. Unless I'm out of town or something like that, I'm in the gym. So all you can do is just show up. If you show up enough, you're gonna get good.
I think that is very good advice. It's it's 90% of all of this is like showing up, because you will gain the knowledge if you will be there.
Absolutely. I got guys in my gym. I'll shout him out. Gabe Trinidad. This guy never has done a sport in his life. Nothing as far as like organized sports. Didn't play football. Didn't wrestle or anything like that. His brother Carlos, the boxer that I was speaking about earlier, got him into the gym, and this guy fell in love with jujitsu. Like he is committed to jujitsu, and he's some of the best roles that I get in the gym. He just got his blue belt within like the last 6 months, but he's some of the best roles that I get in the gym, and it's because he shows up every day. He's committed to just being in there, putting in the grind. You never hear a complaint from the guy or anything like that, and you can see how much he's progressed in the last year to 2 years that we've had him in the gym. It's crazy. I think he came into the gym over 250 pounds. He's breaking down to like the 195 range and stuff like that. I feel like his mentality is completely different. Not to say that he was a bad person, but I think he's a better person now, and he has a team behind him. So, like I said, just showing up to the gym, creating that camaraderie, it'll make you good.
And of course, the like very important part of MMA is like the mental game. And how do you deal with this stress before your fights?
Everybody's going to get the nerves. If you don't have nerves, that's almost weirder to me, or that might even show a little bit more weakness, because I think if you have the nerves, you might even think that you're already thinking you're going to lose. So you just have blocked those nerves out and accepted defeat already. So everybody's got the nerves. I just try to focus on what I can control. Go over the game plan in my head multiple times, and then I just reassure myself. I have like a mantra that I kind of like repeat to myself, and just try to stay in the moment and understand not a lot of people get to do the things that I get to do. So I put myself there, and I just try to embrace all that.
And after the fight, when let's say that you you can train, what do you like to do in your free time?
Depends on the season. If it's the summer, if I can get on to the lake, I'm definitely down to do that. During the winter, if I can escape Nebraska, and I'm originally from Colorado, that's where I went to high school at. Have you ever been to the States?
No, no.
Okay. Well, Colorado, that's where like some of the biggest mountain ranges are. That's where the Colorado Rockies are and stuff. So I'm huge into snowboarding. I love to be out in the mountain doing a lot of snowboarding and stuff. Being out there even by myself and things like that just allows me to kind of be free, or however you want to say it and stuff. So I love to snowboard. I love to uh, go to the lake and stuff anytime I can. I got two dogs that I hang out with. Obviously, my wife as well too. Me and her are best friends, so we hang out together. Just enjoy each other's time. Besides that, though, like I said, I'm kind of a gym rat. So even if I'm not got a fight in, I'm still gonna be at the gym. So those are kind of my hobbies, and that's what keeps me sane. And I just stay on top of that.
Yes, and for now results are great. So I think that it's good to be a gym rat in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, we'll see what the future holds and everything like that. Maybe someday have my own gym and things. Because like I said, I like the camaraderie and everything that a good gym brings. But as of right now, those are just my hobbies, and that's where I stick with.
And I have one last question. It's outside of fighting. If you can learn any skill in the world, what would you like to learn? It can be anything.
I, so I just got done reading David Goggins' books, the first one and the second one, the never finished one, and he in the second one he gets like certified to go and do like uh firefighting, where he jumps out of airplanes and lands in the middle of the fire and fights the fire there. So a couple weeks ago, I actually came up after I finished that and I told him I've gone skydiving, but I did like the tandem situation. So I told my wife that next summer I want to get certified so I can skydive by myself. So I'd like to do that, honestly.
Oh, it's a very cool thing, and I think that it's a lot of adrenaline there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a great experience whenever I did it the first time. So I would like to do it like on my own reconnaissance, like do the whole jump out by myself and pull the line and everything like that. So I think that'd be a cool goal for me to get next summer.
Okay, Blayne, so many thanks for this conversation. I hope that you will fight in September, and maybe you will also take the CFFC title, and then next year we can see you and another of your submissions in the UFC.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you reaching out. This is really cool to do. And like I said, uh, this is a great way to get my name out to anybody that's going to watch this. So anytime that you want to talk, hit me up.
Okay, thanks.